Greetings. Ooh, okay, so we're talking about feminine energy today. And I feel like my ancestors and the Most High want me to talk about this because my incense, which I'm gonna show you the the um on the thumbnail. I'm getting so many downloads at once right now, and I just want to say so many things. I have to calm down. And I might, just so that y'all, I'm just trying to see. No, we'll keep it that way. I feel like it just looks awkward when I'm not looking at you. Like, my eyes are this way because the. Should have just kept it. Hold on. This is fine. This is all it's gonna be. Just know that the camera's over here, but I'm looking wherever. So on my thumbnail, when you look at the thumbnail, it's LAGUZ, the rune LAGUZ, which my incense keeps stopping in the middle. It doesn't burn all the way through. And then it looks like, let me find my LAGUZ rune. And it's the rune of feminine energy, sensuality, feminine madness, magic, witchcraft. Like, it all covers all of that stuff. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I've got a lot of different things. Just the reality. Here we go. LAGUZ. And so literally, look, I wrote on here, water, ocean, sea. And I was telling y'all how I've been feeling fascinated by this water energy. Bodies of water, cleansing, ebb and flow. I did a video yesterday about seduction and the siren, right? And the ebb and flow of like seduction, the pulling in. So check that one out. Then fluidity, right? Fluidity. And even we can talk about how fluidity is really needed right now in our world, because especially for the masculines, like we're in this divided place where the masculines can only be masculine, the feminines can only be feminine, and clearly like that's changing and we're fighting that, but we're not quite there yet. And I think it's like we're missing the intuition, and the spiritual aspect is a big part of it. Not just femininity or like, you know, who you're attracted to, who you want to date. Like, it's deeper than that, and it's more expansive than that. And it also rules psychic abilities, the intuition, the unconscious. I was also talking about how I feel like there's a lot of repressed unconscious things within us all, but within masculines in particular, that it's like there's unconscious things they haven't unpacked yet because they're not in touch with their feminine energy, right? And like, feminine energy isn't having breasts and ass. Like, I feel like people are still seeing it, masculines in particular are still seeing it that very narrow of like, I ain't no feminine, I don't have tits, or like, you know, I don't talk like, my voice isn't high, or like, it's like, no. Like, it's not about your body even. It's about your mind and your subconscious mind. So it's a lot. It's a lot we're gonna jump into. But first, I've been hearing this song over and over again, Hey Ya by Andre 3000. And I keep on hearing, what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. Ladies, what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. All right. So I just got the download right now. Look, I'm talking so fast, I can't breathe. I need to breathe. I really need to breathe. My heart is beating fast. I got hyped. So, okay. I think that that what he was actually saying in that song is like, ladies, you don't have to be so thirsty. Like, think of the music video. Think of how it was like all these girls fawning over him, and it was like 6 hymns on stage, right? I've been hearing this song since August. This shit keeps going in and out of my head. It's all these girls fawning, and he's on stage doing whatever he's doing. And I was pulling some numbers, and I got fawning, studying to please man, courting the favor of men, 411, 441 is that. And so I feel like the Most High is trying to say he's done with that shit. He's done of fawning over the masculine energy, over the masculine man that doesn't deserve it. Like, just like fawning over basically attraction alone, even though they don't give you shit or they don't give a fuck about you at all. But just because they're hot and just because they have some sort of status, it's like, oh my God, right? And I feel like Andre 3000 was even saying, what's cooler than being cool, ice cold? Like, don't worry about these dudes. Like, why are you thirsting over these dudes? They don't deserve it. And so that hit me because it's very satirical. Because the music video, I remember watching it as a kid and being just kind of like, okay, like it just looks like a concert and all of these girls just really like him. But now I feel like I kind of get what he was saying. Like, it's kind of like, what is the point? What is the point, right? So that's just one little thing that I got. And I thought that was so crazy because I never thought about that song like that before. But so after I got studying to please man, then I got 3346, a burning, raging heat, and then a bow. So that time is ending where we only honor the masculine. Like, it's time to let the masculine take a bow and let them learn how to appreciate their own feminine energy as well. Because they don't quite have it, it's like the world's off balance because of that. Like, everything is out of balance because of that. And then I got mixed, 6163 mixed, and then 3421, the people will be poured forth, 2461 white, 1241 cattle herd. So I think that's also this whole thing of like, this is my crew of mixed women, and like I only have the baddest bitches mixed women around me, and like I feel like he's just done with that whole dumb shit. Like, it's just kind of like, it's time to clear that shit out and to move on to just like a more balanced thing. You know what I mean? It's funny, in that music video also, I feel like a lot of the women were mixed. Like, it's this like whole like extremely like just kind of stupid as fuck when you really think about it. Like, it's kind of just dumb as fuck overall. But because that's what we're used to, and because it falls into, you know, everything else that we've learned, we just follow into that, right? I mean, when you think about like the music videos that we see, the artists that are popular, everything, it always falls into that very narrow circle. That very narrow, it's narrow. And that narrowness also reflects the narrowness of where feminine energy fits, where we honor the feminine and where we act like it doesn't exist at all. And we can also talk about even like the Bible, how there's not feminine energy in the Bible. Like, they don't talk, the Psalms has his and he. So it's like, okay, so if I'm reading a psalm, but I'm not a masculine, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I have to change it myself for her. And it says he about 9 times in there in each psalm. He and his. You know what I mean? Why is it not there? And so when you connect that to he being being like the sun energy, masculine energy being the sun energy, her energy, feminine energy, is the moon energy. So it's basically this idea that nighttime, right? Night energy, moon energy. Moon energy is the psychic energy, the feminine energy, psychic, all of that erased. And I believe that it was there before. Like, I believe it was in the Bible at some point, and then it got wiped. And so now we are seeing things from a solely masculine point, which has everybody in the do energy. You know, we're going, it's daylight. Like, it's daylight all the time. And even when people say, you know, no sleep, like all of that plays into this masculine pedestal. Masculine energy is the most important energy. And, you know, it's like, that's just tired as hell, and it's time to balance it out, right? So now, you know, and I even got 2312, taught of God. So this feminine energy, psychic abilities is taught by God. 5651, a renewal, renovation, complete change of the better. So it's like, it's for the better that we can appreciate this dark feminine moon energy that exists within us all, regardless of how our bodies look. And then I got 665, shun, right? It's shunned. It's shunned in the feminines. Like, we can't even be our fullest feminine selves without it being too much, like too much moon energy. You can only be a certain kind of sexy, a certain kind of feminine for it to be acceptable, right? Even we're limited, and we embody it, right? And then I got 321, to lead or bring into a higher place, bring out, right? So it's like, it will lift us all up to be able to appreciate the real reality of feminine energy, because it's not just sex, or it's not just being attractive, or being a mom, right, and taking care of a baby. It's not just that. The feminine energy has a lot to do with it, right? So, you know, it's just, it's interesting. It's interesting. So let me regroup, because it's more. I keep seeing 1244, which means, what does it mean? It's like, after judicial inquiry, compensation. And I keep seeing that, especially when I'm doing videos. I keep seeing 1244, judicial inquiry after compensation. And it's like, you know, side note, I know I'm going through some shit that I just quite don't understand, because I don't have very much information about it. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I just feel like a lot of, like, honestly shitting on the feminine energy. If I could be transparent, that's what it feels like to me, y'all. But it's so much going on, like, I can't even really get into it at this time. But every time I see that number, I'm just like, something's rearing its head, and I'm just like looking out for it, like this. Like, it's so much going on. Yeah. And I guess just in general, I mean, court cases, you know what I mean? Like, and then that also kind of makes me think of spiritual court. Aside from what I was just saying, that there is spiritual court, right? Like, when I say as above, so below, right? what happens here in the 3D world also happens in other realms. And so I literally believe that there's like a spiritual court. Watch the show The Good Place, because it has it there, like where it's like the spiritual realm of trying to decide what's just and what's not through spiritual court. And so that kind of goes into what I was going to say. Using the Most High, the spiritual realm, and the higher self as a checks and balancing system. So I feel like a reason why our society also is so imbalanced is because we don't honor the psychic part of ourselves, the feminine part of ourselves. And that's where the balance is. Like, it's like the Most High is going to be honest, right? Like, there is justice with the Most High. There is like a level of justice with the highest part of yourself, your highest self, right? Your own conscience. But again, as within, so without, as above, so below. So it's like the highest part of yourself also exists outside of you. So using that as a way to be balanced would make it easier to have more balance in this world. But I've also been thinking, like, if you're going through like a lot of magic and spiritual craziness, right? Speaking of like magic, and you've been feeling like there's court coming, like I'm gonna be in a court case, right? Like it could also very well be like a spiritual judicial court situation. You know what I mean? Really, really. Like, I've been thinking about that. Like, maybe, I don't know if you've had dreams of being in court. It could literally be spiritual court that's happening. And don't think that it's less important. Like, don't think, oh, okay, it's just spiritual court. It's not going to be, don't get locked up for 12 years in the mind. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm picking up. So I just thought, I think that's hella interesting, spiritual court. And that makes sense to me that it would be that. Let me sip. Hold on. And especially because we're moving into the year of, I was saying that I did a video about that. Aries North Node, Libra South Node. Libra is the sign of justice. So spiritual justice, So that's that's dope to me. Like, I'm like, good. About time. TBH, to be really reals. What's my incense? Burning. Something about burning and heat. Rage, but like burning. Burning up the old paradigm. Burning. Okay. So I got these notes that I have here. Yes. Okay. So another thing I was going to say, masculines, where you could just start by just pulling a card or 3. Y'all could just pull some cards. Like, how about just pull some cards? Like, just start with the possibility of pulling some tarot cards. Get yourself a basic Rider-Waite deck, and feminines too, honestly. I think, like, everyone could benefit from being able to read their own cards, because it helps you find your own truth, your own spiritual way of divination. And it's only divination tool. It's only a divination tool. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of people are still looking at tarot cards as like this evil thing where the cards control themselves, and like, be careful, the energy is gonna pop out of the cards. It's like, it's the energy that's already around you. You control the cards, you hold the energy, right? So if you're gonna ask a question, you know, what do I need to know for this week? You're gonna know, you're gonna get the information about the energy for the week. What do I need to know about this person? It's going to give you the energy about this person. And I wanted to say that because I feel like sometimes, because masculines are not fully connected to their spiritual selves, they get the short end of the stick sometimes. They get the wool pulled over their eyes in ways that they aren't aware that they do. And then it's like, it's not till later that then in the after fact, it's like, oh shit, that's what was going on, or oh, that's what happened. And it's like, yeah, because you were too focused on the masculine energy. You were too focused on what it was looking like, what the ass was looking like, what the food that she was cooking was looking like. And the reason why I was saying that is because I want to talk about the Baba Yaga, or in other words, the energy of the Wicked Witch, right? And the Baba Yaga, this is a Russian tale, but it shows up in so many different ways. You can think of the Wicked Witch of the West, right? In Disney movies, any Disney movie where there's like the innocent princess, there's the Baba Yaga Wicked Witch that wants to stop her from achieving or getting married or doing whatever it is, right? The like stepmother, whatever it is. And it always seems as if like the masculine has no clue, right? Like the masculine doesn't understand that there's wickedry going on. He just kind of comes in at the end like, you know, here I am, like, oh, I didn't know that's what was, oh shit, that's what was going on. She was tossing magic at you. Oh, she was being wicked. Oh, I had no, oh, and it's just kind of like, that's the problem. Like, you didn't know, you know, like you could have known if you had just shuffled the cards, and you would have seen Seven of Swords, and then you would have known, you know. And so in the Baba Yaga story, there's a stepmother who, you know, is married to the husband, whatever, and the little daughter, Natasha, right? So the stepmother does not like Natasha, the girl. So she's mean already, right? She like tossed the little girl crust of bread, and it's like, go eat it outside. You know, so the girl goes outside, eats it. What I literally read is like, she wets it with her own saliva, because it's like dried crust, and then she eats it, right? And so then the stepmother is telling her husband, right, all the things that Natasha did that was so wicked, and the man believes it. Do you see what I'm saying? So then the stepmother tells Natasha to go to see her sister. And her sister, the stepmother's sister, is the Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga is like a wicked witch woman who lives in, she lives in this house that has chicken feet, and the house moves with chicken feet. Like, it literally can walk with chicken feet. And so this woman, I want to show y'all the picture of what she looks like, even though you could probably already imagine. But basically, so the girl's like forced to go, and I smell a skunk. And anytime I smell a skunk, it lets me know that like it's some sneaky shit going on. Like every time, and look, and right when I said that, I saw 422, which means evil, mischief. So I don't exactly, or I guess, I mean, if we're talking about the Baba Yaga, she's very mischievous and evil. Confirmation, right? Okay, hold on. So Baba Yaga. So anyways, she goes to the Baba Yaga because the stepmother forces her to be there. And I guess this Baba Yaga woman, you know, she flies around on a mortal and a pestle, which you know is like that stone bowl and it has a pestle, right? And it basically, like, it's how you mix things. You can make pesto with it or like food with it. It's like an old cooking tool. Look. Okay. So this, first of all, this is a good, I mean, this is one representation of like dark feminine energy, to be honest. Like the wickeder side of it. But it's like, which we all can embody, right? But it is this like, look, like we know it, we've seen it, and it's portrayed in movies like this. But like every day we see it, right? We see it in people that we know, right? We know it. Like it's not, I don't know. It's funny how we look at these movies and we think, you know, like, oh, it's just it's imaginative. But it's like these people who wrote these things took situations they've already been through and then probably used the Most High to make it more imaginative, because you know what I mean. But it's like it comes from real experience. So anyways, basically the Baba Yaga tries to eat the little girl. The Baba Yaga hates little Natasha. Then Natasha goes back to the dad, not the stepmother, and tells him everything that happened. And then he believes the little girl, right? So to me, when I read that, outside of the Baba Yaga, to me it was like, why was the dad not on it? That's what came for me. Like I'm like, okay, so why was the dad just believing, you know? And like, why was the dad just believing whatever the stepmother was saying? So that I don't know, that's what I picked up from it. And I feel like it's because masculines are lacking that feminine expansion. So they're not seeing things that way. Or they're just choosing not to see things that way. And like always, it's not that deep, it's not that emotional, it's not, it's like, yes it is. And it's like, we need your help to find actual balance. So it's like, pull a card or two, you know what I'm saying? Ask a question, like expand, please expand some stuff. So yeah. So how can the Baba Yaga pop up in our real lives, right? We know it, we've seen it. I feel like it can be, I think sometimes, I mean, I feel like as a younger feminine, I have dealt with just mean older feminine energy, like just like not very supportive older feminine energy, where it's kind of like, damn, I thought, I don't know, just like not very nice, right? And it just makes you kind of wonder, like, why? When it's like, we could say why, right? We could say why, but it's just kind of like, I have noticed that. If we're talking about also how we're out of balance with age, right? Where it's like we look at the younger folk as a certain kind of way, that they don't know enough, you know, that they're too this, they're too that. And, you know, the older women know more, or like should be revered more, but then they're less attractive, right? Not honoring the beauty in the older woman, or even the knowledge. Like literally the feminine energy just gets tossed aside in so many different ways, which then pits us against each other, from age to looks to just from everything, because it's such a narrow place for it. So, you know, it's many many ways that we see it, and ways that it shows up in our lives. But that Baba Yaga, that wicked witch woman, like we know it. I don't feel like I have to explain it. I really don't. I deadass don't. But I think it's not a coincidence though that she flies around on a mortar and a pestle. Because sometimes people will use food as a way to use magic, toss magic, right? Put things in food. It's all kinds of things. So I just think it's funny that that's her like flying tool, like a mortar and a pestle, because she's in that kitchen mixing shit up. Like that, even just right. Or even when you think the wicked witch is standing over her cauldron mixing, you know, it's like these things, we see these things, it's not just imaginary. So let me see. All right, now let me see. Now I'm gonna pull some cards, but then I also want to go into my rulership book and see what else there is. And then look at the, okay, I'm gonna read this from the book. This card right here is the Seven of Cups. I was talking about that Piscean energy, the illusionary energy of kind of not really knowing, the seductive energy, right? This is that, La Serene. So I'm going to read it from the book in a second. The siren. Literally the siren, which is why I was just saying in the other video I did. Literally the siren. Literally the siren. And so, and I feel like if this just popped into my head right now, if a young feminine woman is a siren, right, who maybe uses her dark sensual energy to attract men or to catch men, more say, as she gets older, she grows into the Baba Yaga. Like, I'm not even kidding, y'all. That's what I saw in my mind. Like, not necessarily, but I can just see that being the transformation. Almost as if like feeling like, well, I can't use my beauty anymore, so now what can I use to trick? I mean, I'm just being genuine. Like, it's like, well, damn, my beauty's not honored anymore, which it should be. Like, I believe that the growth of the feminine needs to be honored too. Like, older women should be honored and seen for their wisdom as well. Like, it's like, come on, so much wisdom of living a life, right? Living a life. Like, but it's like that dark karmic energy carries from siren, dark siren, to Baba Yaga. Like, now I have to mix shit. Now I'm gonna mix shit up. You know, it's like, I don't know. That's just like what I see. Look, and then the King of Cups too. This is the Queen. Let me see, Congo. It's interesting to me, this card right here. This, I believe, is the Queen. But I'm just noticing the the bend in this card and how it splits right through the woman. Which is making me think, honestly, just how the light and dark, the mixture of the light and dark in everybody, right? And like whatever side you choose on a daily basis. I don't know, that's just what I'm seeing right now. And also the reality that each tarot card has a light and a dark aspect to it. and how it can be so tricky even to read cards sometimes, or to fully pinpoint the energy because of the light and dark aspect of it. Like, you could see the Seven of Swords, and that could be somebody keeping a secret to protect themselves, or it could be somebody straight up scheming, right? And or it could be like, you know, maybe you see the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, right? Four of Pentacles makes me think be cool. So like keeping something to yourself to be cool, keeping a secret to avoid, right? It's like all, I don't know, it's just really interesting how many different ways it can come out. But that's what I saw with that when I saw the bend. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna read that one from this book. But so yeah, so what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. Like stop being so thirsty. Like my ancestors want me to say that. Like they literally are like, say that shit. Stop the unnecessary thirst. These masculines don't deserve that thirst. Sorry, masculines, but y'all don't. Not for nothing at all. Not for nothing at all. Not for nothing at all. I'm sorry, but it's like not just because they were standing on a stage, or like not just because they sang a nice song or something, or they, I don't know, it's like we don't give, I don't know, dude, we just give it, we give it too much. We give it too much. We give it too much. Give too much of ourselves, you know? Too much interest, too much like willingness to just do whatever, or just to be up under some dude. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I think we've really like overextended ourselves. Like, the water is running dry because we're overextending it, and the masculines don't even know what to do with the water. They don't know what to do with it. They're drowning in the water. It's so much water. Like, we don't, they need to learn how to work with it. They don't even, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. It's just something I've really noticed. It's like we do too much. We do too much. I don't know why I'm saying we. Like, I'm past that point where I'm off that thirsty shit, but I have been there, though. Like, everyone's been in high school where you're just like, wow, boys, and like, oh, I like this guy, and like, oh, all these celebrities, and like, oh, you know, but at some point, when you really think about it, where is it getting us? Where is it really getting us? And I even think that that because the feminine energy is not honored in the way that it should be, we're used to using our energy in that way. Like, it's like that's just like the easiest way we know to use it, siren energy. Or mermaid, right? Even still, to just be sweet and like hope maybe I'll attract a man that way by being sweet. And it's just kind of like, nah, like we're supposed to be like we need to help the masculines learn how to use their own psychic abilities, but like we're the ones getting the downloads, like the true downloads that can help change the world, you know? We're getting like the real we're getting the real shit, the real. I was saying yesterday, the spiritual realm is like the real internet. Like, the shit that you get, the shit that spirit brings into you is better than the internet. Like, I know for all of my psychics and like readers who get these downloads or have spirit whispering funny shit into their ear, the shit's funny. it's funnier than the internet. Like, spirit has a sense of humor for real. And, you know, it's just like, that's really where it's at. That's really where it's at. That's really where it's at. So, it's like really just a matter of observing, sitting back and observing, being able to receive. And I notice men have a hard time doing that, but even feminines have a hard time doing that. Like, we feel like we can't really sit back and receive. Like, it's like, we can't really relax, or like to really be able to relax. We can't even always do that, but I feel like men like don't even more know how to. I'm thinking about so many different things at one time right now, y'all. And then I'll read about the moon too. Okay. So the Seven of Cups. Here we go. So this is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. So that's what this deck is, and that's what this book is. Now, I don't feel like I should have to say this, but I will still say it. I don't practice voodoo personally. That's just not something that I practice. But because of all the symbolism that is in these cards, and knowing about the Loa and relating it also to other deities and things of that sort, it's just really interesting to me. And also because, you know, I've had my fair share of voodoo tossed at me, it's nice to know what you're working with, right? So this, let me just read it. What's important? This is basically what I was saying about the siren, right? And so this is a Seven of Cups card. Siren energy, trickster energy, like all of, like, tricky, elusive, like you never know what you're gonna get, like the ocean. So La Serene is the mermaid. While her realm is that of the ocean or world womb, her human qualities give her access to the mysteries of the land. Mysteries also, like uncovering ancient mysteries of this world, you know. It's making me think of like the deep bottom of the ocean, everything that's down there. It's mysteries down there, you know. She is the great bridge between those who inhabit the fathomless depths of the sea and the creatures of dry land. You get it. Okay, she is the water form of Erzuli, and Agwe is her husband. Those are other Loa. In terms of Chesed, she also acts as a connection or bridge between Agwe and La Bailin, the whale. La Bailin moves freely along the ocean's bottoms and is privy to their secrets. For her, La Serene has much to tell Agwe. La Serene, as her name implies, is a Loa responsible for the sacred songs of the voodoo ceremony. Sacred songs, right? The siren sings these songs to attract people out. These songs combine music and word to generate the fascination that helps to so strongly focus the attention of the voodoo devotees. Here, once more, La Serene bridges two elements, music and the spoken word. And that's interesting because I was saying in another reading I did about voodoo vixens, vocalists, of like using naturally, it's a calling in experience, you know, when you're singing, but also like your body, the sensuality of the body calling in, like all of this. All you got to do is set the intention and know what you're doing, and it's happening. You know what I mean? Like, anyways. Her card emphasizes blue, which is her color. The whale shown swimming behind her is La Bailin, the great mother of the sea. La Serene is companion to the whale and transmits the generative power of the oceans in the sphere of the emotions. She is a creature of two worlds, bridging the gap between the solid land and the ever-shifting waters. The primary attribute of La Serene is emotional connection. Her power is that of empathy. Okay, and so then they put a little thing for contemplation. We stand with one foot in the visible world and the other in the world of the invisibles. We stand with one foot in the visible world and the other in the world of the invisibles. Right? So the spiritual realm where you can't see them, in the visible world. We operate as a connection or link between these worlds. Right? So that's why I'm saying masculine has 10 toes down mostly in the visible world, because he's not quite ready to dip the toe in the water yet, right? Or not realizing that their foot is in it. Like, they're not realizing their foot is in the water yet, right? Not all masculines. I will say that. Like, there are many masculines that do this work too. But I'm just saying, I feel like classically, popularly, not quite. We operate as a, we operate as a connection or link between these worlds. La Serene is the emotional component of this link. In her is found the emotional force to bridge this gap. Yes. Okay, and then there's a little thing about divination too. I'll read that. In affairs of the emotions, there is to be a bridging or joining of elements. A marriage is the most obvious manifestation, whether the elements of the marriage are two people or a bringing together of ways in which the world is being perceived. The siren song or deception, causing one to forget his or her will. So, causing one to forget his or her will. That's like a darker side of it, right? But I just think that's really interesting. Like, that's the deception part, right? That's magic can cause that, but then also just like the seduction can cause that. Natural seduction can cause that, a forgetting of what your purpose was in the first place, right? So all this falls into LAGUZ. And I'm thinking of lagoon, right? Like what's in the lagoon, which does make me think of, I don't know if lagoons don't filter, so it's making me think Scorpio, like the lagoon, what's under the lagoon, right? Or yeah. Am I gonna read any more? I don't know if I'm gonna go over an hour. Let me just see if there's anything else. Anything else you would like me to mention? Most High. And then I'm about to, let me relight these incense though, because sometimes it's like when the incense go out, the mental, like you, then the mental goes with it. I swear, like incense, the air element, it's not a game. I noticed that. Like I'll be flowing, and then the moment the incense goes out, then I'm kind of like, wait, where did it go? Yeah. I'm just trying to like get comfortable again, see if there's any other themes. I'm learning to just appreciate the silence, right? Like I don't have to be just like going off over just every day, like every second of every minute. All right, let me see. So I was hearing this song this morning by One Republic, Stop and Stare. And I was getting there's an energy of what does he say in that song? You think you're moving, but you go nowhere. And you'll do anything to get what's fair. But fair ain't what you really need. Do you see what I see? So what I'm getting from that, I'm getting a lot of things from that. That's taking me to, because when I'm thinking stop and stare, this whole thing with aliens, right? Like, almost like, what if we're gonna be seeing them actually soon, right? Like, if this is like this competition between the worlds, or like all this deep energy going on in the world, and then all of a sudden it's like we all look and see like that stops us all in our tracks in some way or something like that. That's kind of what took me there. That's kind of honestly what took me there. But then I was seeing, hold on. Okay. Oh. I just got, I won't mention it in this, but I got a download that's interesting to me. It's personal, but it's like it came through just now. It's so many downloads that I'm getting, y'all, right now, but it's like they're literally personal. I'm probably gonna just have to go ahead and end the reading. It's like it always gets personal, and then now yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's an okay place to end here. I really wish I could go for longer. I honestly do, because it's like it's more that I could say. It's really more that I could say. Like, it's so much more, you know? And I genuinely love this work. I just love this work, guys. I just love this work. I love this work. I honestly do. And I don't, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop. I'll stop. I feel like that was a good little. Well, those were the downloads I was getting about LAGUZ, the feminine energy. You know what I mean? That's what I was getting. So, you know, I want to go deeper, but I feel like sometimes 1 hour is just enough. So, check out that thumbnail. Notice what your incense, how your incense in. Like, what do they look like? Does the smoke stick together, like the little things? Do they stay together and form a shape? Or also you can notice how they fall onto the table or wherever you set the stuff. It gives you tea. I think I said that already in another video, but notice it for yourself. Okay. Happy LAGUZing. Have a lovely one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.